So up until January the 7th, the Toronto Maple Leafs were first in the league in team save percentage and second in goals against average. 1 and 2. Since then, now a not so small sample size, 18 games to be exact, they are 29th in team save percentage and 25th in goals against average. I repeat, over the last 18 games since January 8th, they are 29th and 25th respectively. Yesterday, I asked you if you were concerned. Jesse, you said no. Today, I ask you again, are you concerned?
A little.
Yeah?
A little. I'm starting to come around to being a little bit concerned. And I think part of the reason is previously this season, it now appears as though the Jack Campbell performance that we saw when he was basically a front runner for the Vezina Trophy, much like a stock market could be, and it comes crashing down, it was a little bit of a Jack Campbell bubble. And that bubble appears to have now burst. And so Jack Campbell's play was papering over a lot of the defensive woes that we have seen specifically in the last week. And I'm talking about odd man rushes, which we saw a lot of last night. And a lot of the goals are, you could argue that they are his fault, but at the same time, they're exposing the defensive play where defensemen are just sitting back and allowing things to happen. You can't allow Patrick Laine to shoot from where he's been shooting or where he was shooting last night. So it speaks to a larger concern, and it is what you said, which is general defensive issues.
Okay. Because I thought for a second there you were pinning this on Jack Campbell, but you can't have one without the other.
I think it's both.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
Like, unless you have legitimate names in the back line and legitimate numbers on the back line suggesting that the Leafs defense is really good, I don't think you have that. Then you can't have one without the other. You can't have Jack Campbell without the team playing great defensively around him, or vice versa. Like, I don't think if you're a Leafs fan, I know a lot of them are saying go out and get a goalie. Like old school, no salary cap, maybe you can go out and get Marc-Andre Fleury. Yeah. But let me remind you that Jack Campbell, as a Toronto Maple Leaf, is 43-13-7. 43-13-7 with a .237 goals against average and a .920 save percentage. Like, his ranks since joining the Maple Leafs in the NHL are basically all top 10. He's first in points percentage since joining the Maple Leafs, which was February 7th, 2020. He's 8th in goals against average. He's 6th in save percentage and has 6 shutouts, which would be 9th. And among goalies who have made at least 30 games or played at least 30 games, because I was going to say made 30 starts, but it's games played. 30 games played. He's top 10 in the league in all those. Like, I don't think it's just Jack Campbell. You get a great goalie or a good goalie, and you're all of a sudden good. But I do think this, and I'll just finish the thought here. His career high in games started coming into this year was 25. He's already at 36 starts this year. And is he tired? Can he do it over the long haul? Can the Leafs afford to play Peter Mrazek as much as they should in that division where if they don't win, it means a first-round date with Tampa or Florida, 2 of what? The best 5 teams in the league? Yeah. Like right now, in the standings, they're 2 of the top 4 teams in the league. So it's funny, man. The Leafs can be good, really good. And they're going to have to be great to get out of the first round.
Yes. And I think the frustrating thing is, like, you watched the game last night, and offensively, they dominate the game. And it happens a lot. They dominate these games offensively. They have more high-danger chances. They have more shots most of the time. But that's why it's so easy to just pin the blame on Jack Campbell, because it seems like they're dominating, and then it's a deflating goal, which it seems like has plagued the Leafs for years. They dominate, they dominate, dominate. Play comes back the other way, and the goalie can't make a save. And I just feel like when you're hanging the goalie out to dry, and say he gets 20 shots in a night, but some of them are, or most of them are high quality or odd man rushes, it just sets up the goalie to kind of fail. And what are we really expecting from Jack Campbell? His numbers are basically exactly what they've been for his career. Now the question becomes, like, what do you do, right? You mentioned the Marc-Andre Fleury.
Here's what I think you do. Can I give you an answer?
Of course, yeah.
I think you give them better defenders. I think Lyubushkin is a good start.
Yeah.
And I think you try and add one more before the deadline. And that's the only thing that you can do given the salary cap at this time. Like, it's not like you're going to go out and get, unless someone's going to take on Peter Mrazek's salary right now, and you can find something around that size. I don't see that goaltender out there. And if he was, the Edmonton Oilers would have already traded for him.
Yeah.
Because they can't do it either. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how many good goalies that you can bank on in the postseason you can go out and get right now.
Yes. I mean, that's the problem. Because if you go and get someone who's like not as quality as Jack Campbell, like, you're going to have more confidence putting that guy in if Jack Campbell struggles. Like, no, you're not. You're going to want to stick with Jack Campbell. So maybe this isn't the worst thing for them long term when it comes to his contract. If he can get hot in the playoffs, it's a little bit better. Maybe his regular season numbers come down.
Do you remember late December, if you were listening to local sports radio in Toronto, what the number was for Jack Campbell as an unrestricted free agent?
High.
Like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it was, you can't lose him. And like a month later, those same people are like, get rid of him, bring in a goalie. Like, you can't do that as a professional franchise. I'm sorry.